I like to say my name's Chuck, Tai Chi Chuck. I'm sort of like a mad scientist turned holistic healer, Tai Chi master kind of guy. So in the span of 5 years, I went from running a lab at Brown University to like healing people full time as my way of living. So I was kind of initially kind of dismissive of the whole mindfulness thing, you know, until I watched this film, you know, from like somebody that's trained as a deeper meditator, perhaps, you know. But I actually learned a lot from, you know, the techniques that we use in it and that sort of thing. But I was initially struck as like just what a damn swamp adolescence is, and particularly what a hell 7th grade is, you know.
Absolutely.
And God bless that teacher, you know. You could use a little mindfulness training. But over the years, like I've had many students, and one was a 2nd grade teacher, and she used to teach her kids Qigong, you know. And she used to make them all do Qigong before she gave them the math tests, you know, as a way of assuaging their math anxiety. And I think my ex-wife used to do the same thing. She'd teach some of her students at Math Society, like some basic Qigong exercises for the math anxiety kind of thing. Ellen was discussing about the now, you know, and most people don't get now. They just talk about now, but they don't really get what it means, you know. And what I noticed those kids doing as they progressed, you know, was they were getting used to it. Meditation is a learned behavior. It's not something you just, you know, pick up. You know, I noticed when I first started doing this, I was convinced it was like a Pavlovian response. You know, it's like cultivating a garden in your brain. So I would use the same place, same time, same tape, same moves, all right? So I noticed that I didn't have to do anything except turn on the tape. Bam! I'd go into the Qigong condition, and all my, like, reflexive relaxation things would come on, you know what I mean? So I was like, wow, you know, with a little practice, you know, and you can see these kids getting it as it progressed, you know, and becoming present, you know. And the bell is such a really nice technique. But you can see what they were going to, you know. They were going to the now. They were going to a place of safety, you know, of self-regulation, you know, because most people have no idea how to self-regulate. This is not things that are taught in our society at large, you know. There's not a huge tradition in the West, you know. For example, we have this technique we do like in Qigong where we put our hands together, right? It causes, you put your tongue up against the roof of your mouth, the energy comes up over your head and down, and it fosters a deep place of relaxation and meditation, all right? And it's based on like Taoism and Chinese medical theory and all this other stuff, but guess what? In the Catholic Church, they still teach you to do this, but they have lost why they do this, you know? So, as a society, we've lost track of the things that we once knew. I believe, anyways, you know. We've forgotten more than we ever knew, you know. So this is a way to reconnect to some of that, I think. And it just takes a lot of practice. But you can see these kids getting it, which was like really, really, really good, you know. Yeah, I mean, it grounded them too. You know, what I try to tell a lot of my Tai Chi students and Qigong students is, what are we taught from the basic level? We're taught to think our way through everything. You know what I mean? Think your way out of this, think. We have way too much energy up here. You know, it's our whole Western philosophy. And no one's ever taught us how to ground ourselves, how to clear ourselves, how to open our heart and feel it, you know, intuitively and intrinsically in our gut, you know. And that's what I can see these kids effectively do, you know. It's not, well, you know, everybody's always think your way out of this, think. No one knows how to just like calm down and breathe into it, you know, which is, I remember I used to like be the kind of guy that I'd put my bicycle by the side of the road and hope somebody stole it so I could go beat the crap out of them, you know? And I'd say, you know, through trying to get well physically from chronic fatigue syndrome, I met this little Chinese guy. He says, "You should stay for class." And I go, "What is class?" And so, like, it just serendipity. I ended up doing the meditation with this guy, and you know, it was like one of those synchronistic moments that I had no intention on proceeding with. You know what I mean? So I started doing this Qigong, and I went from somebody who was like an ex-barroom brawler to somebody that was like meditating and just like, you know, because I was there. You know, and so I'm doing the Qigong, and my legs are starting to itch, and I'm getting all sorts of calm, and I'm like, wow, this is really, really something, you know? And, you know, it just, stuff kind of like happens that way, you know? It's so refreshing to see this become like mainstream almost, you know? And tools being picked up and utilized by society, so. I don't know, I think I probably said enough. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I got asked to meet you, so.